Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Happy listening. And there's this wonderful, wonderful app called the Anchor app where you would never in a million years think that you can do a um, you can do podcast for free from your cell phone because you think that you need also equipment and you don't. All you need is your cell phone, Wi-Fi, and just persistence. And there you go, a podcast, and you can be like the legendary podcast you see on YouTube, etc., etc. So join now and download the Anchor app in your Play Store, and happy listening, and go create something great.
Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Okay, so this podcast is called Pick Your Hard. So, I understood this concept a couple months ago, but now I emotionally understand it because of the homelessness that I'm experiencing. And I'm thinking to myself, when I thought back then as I think now, it's not as hard as you think. Because, when they say success is hard and failure is hard, pick a hard, I emotionally understand what that means now. When Jim Rohn says you'll either face the hardship of success and discipline, or you'll face the hardship and of regret. Jackie is the queen. And you'll face the hardship of regret. And now that I'm facing the hardship of regret, I'm like, discipline is not that hard. Discipline is not hard when you know what regret feels like. And I'm gonna make a video about that. Discipline is not as difficult as we make it seem when you know what the pain of regret feels like. And that's something that I'm gonna have to emotionally accept for the rest of my life. Regret is way harder to deal with than discipline. Way harder to deal with because it weighs more. Discipline doesn't weigh as much, in my opinion. Positive discipline does not weigh as much as regret. And it never will. In the beginning, it may seem like it, but not necessarily. I think that's just like the what the hell is this shit called? I don't even know what to call it. Like the infatuation of negative emotion. But outside of that, regret is a demon, me. Regret is one hell of a demon. Because one thing I'm so glad that I did where I say I chased my dreams and I didn't listen to my parents, because that pain of regret is a fucking demon. I'm feeling it now and I don't like it. And when I made the right decision when I said, I gotta deal with me for the rest of my life. So the regret I'm gonna feel if I don't do what I'm supposed to do for myself is gonna hurt so much more than saying, oh damn, I gotta look crazy for a couple of years, or I gotta be disciplined for a couple of years. Then damn, I regret never doing it at all. When I tell you I'm okay with looking like the fool for a couple years, to end up on top, then sitting in my bed regretting everything that I shoulda, woulda, coulda did. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll take that. I'll take the pain of looking like the fool, being the fool, taking the hurt, taking the embarrassment. I'll take all of that. Because Here's what I learned with a lot of that. A lot of that is short term. A lot of that is short term. It's not long term. Regret. Ooh, come on. That makes me want to cry, man. Regret is long term. And here's why I say regret is long term. Depending on what you regret, you have to deal with it forever. Now, of course, depending on the situation, regret it doesn't have to be forever. It can change. It can become an opportunity, etc., etc. But with the wrong regret, it is forever. Like my grandparents, I may not see them till they pass, and that may be something that I have to deal with in regret. That may be a regret I have to live with. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what I mean. You're gonna have to have a regret that you're gonna have to live with. You feel me? And you know, I would say, pick the swords that you're willing to die with. And that's a sword I'm willing to die with. You feel me? So, because that's a sword I'm willing to die with, that's a sword I'm willing to die with. Especially during COVID, that's just a sword I'm willing to die with. That's just a regret that I'm gonna have to be okay with. You feel me? Saying, damn, I wish I would have saw my grandparents. Blah, 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 blah. That's just, I gotta eat that. I've already mentally made my bed to say I'm okay with hearing the news. They're gone. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I'm gonna be sad. But I already made my bed before it came to pass. So that, cause I already know that's because my mission requires greater, and their physical vessels aren't able to do anything for me. So unless we're on the same page, I mean, if we're not on the same page, their existence won't. It sounds fucked up, but their existence don't do shit. Don't mean shit. And same thing with my parents. Their existence don't mean shit if they're not in alignment with me. To be honest with you. And that's a very harsh way to look at alignment. But if they're not aligned with your higher self and your goals, their existence shouldn't matter. That's very, very, very harsh. But when you fall on hard times and dark times, that's the raw reality you face. Like, why does their existence matter again? What do they, you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway. Like I'll give you a good example. A friend of mine is dealing with a boy. I talk about on a couple podcasts now, and I said the only reason why you deal with him is because you're not in a secure place. You have not created your security. If you created your security, I don't mean just money. I mean mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You will look at him like, "Well, I'm dealing with you again." You will look at somebody who's inconsistent like, "Why I'm dealing with you again?" But because you're not that, he's the best thing since sliced bread. And I say that because I've been there. Somebody looks like the best thing since sliced bread because I don't got my shit together. You feel me? And there's nothing. And when you have those googly eyes on, I've learned there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change somebody's mindset when they have those googly eyes on, because they don't have it. So they see them as the best thing since sliced bread, because they don't have it. I've been there on multiple accords, where you give things that you would normally not give a pass, because you don't have it together. And the only person that, I mean, that's in general in life, but in this dangerous situation, the only person who's really able to take off the goggles, the googly eyes, is them. Like that's when you have something strapped to your face, type of situation. Where when you have something strapped to your face and you can't see no different because you don't. I would say you don't, and I would say you won't take care of yourself. And it's worse when it's not that you don't, it's you won't take care of yourself. If you won't take care of yourself and you're waiting for this person to do whatever it is that they're doing, they'll be the best thing since sliced bread. And it is what it is. You are. I ain't even gonna cap and say again. I'm not even gonna cap and say I've never been there, because I have. I have, and it's a really strong hold to break. No bullshit. It is a really, really, really strong hold to break, because you gotta look at yourself and say, I can take care of myself. And when you ain't saying that, no cap, when you ain't saying that, that person looks like the best thing since sliced motherfucking bread. And let me tell you something about that as well. You can end up in deep regret with that, because sometimes you know you could be doing better, and you refuse. And that shit leads to a lot of pain, a lot of destruction, a lot of hurt, because you ain't getting your ass up. To make it known, you are the supreme being of your life. And that's hard to believe in a society that tells you you are not the supreme being of your own life. And I'm here to tell you, you are. You are the supreme being. Because when you don't believe you are the supreme being of your own life, and now you don't have to say God, but when you don't believe you are the supreme being, you get in all type of dumb shit. You volunteer for all type of goofy shit because you don't believe you are the supreme being. No cap. Because you don't believe you are the supreme being, you volunteer for dumb shit. Meaning, I would say in the most simplest of ways. Simple. You are the solution and you are the problem. It don't get no deeper than that. You are? It don't get no deeper than that. You are the solution. How you doing? Can you warm these up, please? Both of them. You are the problem and you are the solution. And if you don't believe that shit, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Where's no doggo? When you don't believe you are the supreme being, excuse me, my fault. When you don't believe you are the supreme being, bro, you sign up for goofy shit. I ain't gonna hold you. And that's why like I stayed to myself, and like for instance I was thinking earlier to myself, one of the reasons why I mind my business as a black man, because there's so many ways to get in trouble, to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It ain't worth shit. And can you warm it up? Can you warm it up? Oh, that's right. You don't have, sorry, you don't have the microwave. That's right. Is there a microwave back here? Yo, where's the microwave? Huh? So I asked him to warm it up, and he's like,
What do you want
to warm it up. I want to warm this up.
What is this?
It's the mini bites.
You pay already?
Yeah. So, you know, you gotta get to a place where you just spiritually understand, yo, if I don't create like one of my deepest, like darkest problems, and like but beauties is I gotta create all my solutions. And when I say it's hard, bro, you gotta break limiting beliefs. You gotta start programming yourself. You gotta do everything because I gotta create a solution. And ooh, damn. That's deep. And because like Life Path 3 shit, right? Life Path 3 has helped me understand, because I have to create every solution. That means every problem that I've ever encountered. Fuck. Shit. Every problem I've ever encountered, I created. That's hard. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. But I'm accepting it. That's a hard one. You heard? That's a hard pill to swallow. You heard? That is a hard pill to swallow. But it is a pill that I have to swallow nonetheless, because ain't nobody coming to save me. You heard? And that Life Path 3 is like, that's the harshest reality of it all. Outside of what you came here to do already, the harshest reality is that every problem, I would say every problem, that's kind of harsh, but I would say most problems, so you don't escape reality, most problems you created. Most problems. And gotta accept that shit. The faster you emotionally accept it, the better your life will be. And, yeah.